In this video, I'm going to go through my experience of learning with warrior trading, and I'm going to share a review with you, covering what was included in the course, the benefits, the negatives, what my views are now. I think it's going to be really useful for you if you're considering taking a course of warrior trading, so stick around. It's Emily from the channel Mindfully Trading, where I share videos about trading stocks, Forex, my trading journey and other general trading tips. In this video I'm going to share with you my personal review of my experience really of training up with warrior trading. Quick disclaimer before I get into the video, I'm not currently receiving any kind of funds or payments for creating this video, and I certainly don't receive any kind of payment if you decide to train up with warrior trading. This video is just my honest review for you guys, because I would have liked to have had something like this when I was deciding whether or not to take the course, so I hope it helps you out. So I started my training with warrior trading back in July 2018, and I did the 12-month Warrior Pro course. And at the time when I brought that, it included so many things. The Warrior Pro course, as I say, it lasted for 12 months and it included access to all of the courses. Now this included the Warrior Starter, which is kind of like the prerequisite course. It's a very basic beginner course into trading, and I actually found it really useful because I was a complete beginner when I started with warrior trading. I didn't know anything about trading other than the pretty patterns on the charts, not the patterns themselves. So in the courses, there was the Warrior Starter. There was a small cap day trading course. There was a large cap day trading course who was taught by the teacher Mike. There's an options trading course taught by Arsh. The swing trading course, which is a smaller course, taught by Ross. The futures trading course taught by Steve, and a cryptocurrency course which was taught by Arsh. A lot of people tend to stick with just the small cap course for Ross's, but there are a lot of different courses to go at in that section alone. Alongside the courses themselves, there's access to the mentor sessions. Now, they do 5 mentor sessions a week, Monday to Friday, and they include 3 different levels of mentor sessions. So those are beginner, intermediate and advanced. And there is also a Mindful Mondays mentor session, which focuses on like mindfulness meditation. And also FOMO Fridays, which stands for fear of missing out. And that's the trading psychology mentor session. Alongside the live sessions, which allow you to interact with people through the chat room as well as ask questions, they also do record all of the live sessions, and all of the previously recorded sessions can be found in the mentor sessions library. And I'm not exaggerating, there are loads of videos to go at. I don't think I ever completed all of them, but they really are high quality, the mentor sessions. As well as those sessions, there was access to the paper simulator, which I had for the year subscription. And there was access to the chat rooms. Now there are 2 chat rooms. There was the small cap room run by Ross, and that was focusing on Ross's small cap day trading strategies, and the large cap chat room run by Mike, which focuses on the large cap strategies. And also alongside Mike and Ross, there are different kind of graduates, if you like, who help support the chat room and answer questions. So it's a really good communal experience, as well as a guide to help you to follow along with either Ross's or Mike's trades, so you can see sort of when to get in and how they're doing it. Alongside that, they do stream the scanners in the chat room, so it can be handy to find trades. And then as well as those, the course also included Ross's trade ideas scanner settings. So if you decide to go with trade ideas, you can upload his scanner settings and allowing you to find the same sort of stocks that Ross finds. Okay, so that's a rough overview for you, if you like, on what's included in the course. So why did I decide to take the course in the first place? Let's rewind back a few years. So before July 2018, I was actually working for myself as a web designer and social media marketer. I'd been studying for about a year on all the different ways you can make money online. I was really interested in blogging, affiliate marketing, as well as what I was doing at the time, but it was very active, and I was trying to find something that was a little bit more passive or that could allow me to make a bit more money. I guess you guys must be in the same situation. And at the time, my father-in-law actually told me about Ross Cameron and trading, and I'd never heard of trading before. I was like, what's trading? I just thought it was some rich man's game. I literally did not really have any thoughts on it other than it must be difficult, because that's the kind of pre-programmed thought about trading, right? It's really difficult and confusing. So I had a chat to him about it, and he said that with my sort of computer skills, he thinks I'd be interested in trading and I should have a look at it and see what I think. So I was like, okay, well, let's check it out. And I went onto YouTube, onto Warrior Trading, and I watched a couple of Ross's videos. Really liked the kind of feel of Ross. I liked the way he communicated and he seemed quite down to earth. I did also look into some other sort of teachers at the time, like Tim Sykes, but it wasn't really the kind of right match for me, what I look for in a teacher, so I wasn't too interested in that. And from there, I basically enrolled onto one of the webinars that Ross offers. He does tend to do them on a regular basis, so if you haven't done them already, I'd definitely join a webinar. And it was really useful. I think the one I did, he shared his 3 secrets or 3 pillars to day trading success. And he just basically went through kind of like risk management, his chart patterns and his scanners. So he kind of gave you a little insight into Ross's strategy. But what it did more importantly for me was allow me to get a good feel of Ross and the way he teaches and whether that was right for me, as well as trading itself, because I really was a beginner. I'd never done anything like this before. And from then I was really interested, but I imagine like a lot of you guys, you know, it came to how much the course was and I was just like, I don't know about that. A few £1,000 is quite a lot of money. It's quite an investment and I need to be sure about this. So I kind of went away and thought about it. As part of the webinar, Ross did give a free PDF of his book, How to Day Trade. So I kind of downloaded that and had a read of that. And I also found on YouTube he'd uploaded the first, I think it was the first lesson of his day trade course. It's probably an outdated one, but the content is still very good and I'd recommend that. I think it was about an hour-long video and I did that as well, just to get a taste of his teaching style. And basically the days that unfolded after I joined the webinar and sort of decided, right, I really want to join Warrior Trading, but the money is kind of a barrier here. I actually came into a position where I was gifted some money. It wasn't for the course itself, it was just the turn of events of losing a loved one. But I had this money given to me and I just felt like it was a bit of a sign, to be honest. It was a gift that would enable me to kind of invest in my education and further me down the path. And I was really fortunate to have that option. And that was why I decided to take the course, really. It was a mixture of research and the desire, and then together with the funds backing, which allowed me to take it in the first place. In addition to kind of the logistics of how I took the course, the reason I did choose to take the course rather than actually kind of self-study and research from the internet was because I felt that Ross, he obviously proves that he is a successful trader. He's so transparent. There are years worth of videos on YouTube where you can see him trading, you can see how much he makes. There's no lie about that this guy can make money, you know, and that's what you want to learn from. You want to learn from somebody who's able to do what he's saying he can do. And as well as that, the actual kind of community aspect of the course really appealed to me. I wanted to have this kind of structured support system whereby everything is there for me to access and all I need to do is study, because studying in itself and learning something new and learning a new skill all takes energy. So I found personally that if I was to research and go to independent sources, you know, I'm not just trying to learn about trading. I've first got to learn if the source is reliable and credible enough, which for me didn't really make sense. I wanted to learn the right material from the right person. And Ross Cameron from Warrior Trading ticked those boxes for me. So they were all quite important factors for me in making a decision to join the Warrior Trading Pro course. Okay, so the positives of the course, what were the positives? Well, there were quite a lot of positives. I did really enjoy my experience of Warrior Trading, so I'm going to try and remember them all for you and go through them now. So for me, a positive one will be the extensive lessons that are included with the courses. As I mentioned before, there are loads of different courses included with the Warrior Pro. The kind of main ones people tend to go for, myself included, is the small caps course after the starter, of course. That naturally the starter is the beginner course. But from then I went on to the small caps day trading course. And within that, it's kind of like a collection of different topics and different lessons. They're video lessons and you can see the videos, you can see kind of like the screencast of the person there, and it's sort of like a PowerPoint style. At the end of a lot of the videos, there's like a frequently asked questions video, so you can see most common questions, and it does tend to answer most of your questions as well about the topic. And there's usually a PDF download of the lesson as well. So there's lots of different mediums, if you like. There's video, there's written material. There isn't usually a live kind of lesson structure unless you join the mentor sessions. You can do that and ask live questions there. If you have any questions about the actual topics in the course, my kind of approach was just to email for some answers, and that did work out quite well as well. I did find that the warrior trading team were very quick to get back to me, although there was the slight delay in time because I'm sort of 5 hours ahead, so I didn't usually get a reply until the next day. But still, they were pretty quick at getting back to me. And the lessons themselves, I really enjoyed them. I thought that Ross is a really good communicator. The other teachers who do the other courses are also very good communicators. And I just found that the topics included, really good information. It takes a lot of energy because it's learning something new. So at the end of most videos, I'm kind of nodding off and having to revise and things like that. But it is really good and stimulating quality. So just to share with you a couple of the kind of contents from the courses. As I said, the starter is a very kind of basic introduction to trading, common terminologies, a little bit of the history. Small caps, I can't remember the exact order, but it does take you through the process of trading. It talks about risk management, how to find trades. It talks about different softwares, what you need. It talks breaks down the broker, goes into detail on the level 2, the timing sales, charting patterns, candlesticks. There's so much information. There is everything that you need to trade Ross's strategy in there. But I do also recommend doing the large cap strategy. Even if you go in and you just want to trade like Ross, the large cap course I found was very high quality as well, because it includes things that can transfer over depending on whatever your strategy is, because large cap does concentrate a lot on technical analysis. It shares a lot about how to find support and resistance zones, swing highs, swing lows, channels, pivots, and they're all really good information for you to basically build your foundation as a trader, whether you decide to do small caps, large caps, Forex, or whatever it is you go into. Technical analysis is a very cross-transferable skill, so I do recommend doing that side of it as well. So that leads on to the next benefit for me, which is the variety of courses. I particularly enjoyed the swing course as well. It's kind of more like an investment style course, and it's only 3 lessons, but it was really interesting. And also, I did do the other courses just to get a grounding in them and to see whether it was for me, but I didn't quite get interested in options or futures, but it's good to have the option to look at that. So it's definitely a benefit having such a variety of trading courses. A definite benefit for me with the Warrior Trading Pro course is the mentor sessions. As I've already explained to you, the live mentor sessions do run from Monday to Friday. I actually only attended a couple of live sessions because I think for me being in the UK, one of them, a Wednesday I think it was, ended up being 11 in the morning, but the others were in the evening, and the evening wasn't really a good time for me. And I didn't really feel like I needed to be in the live session. I was quite happy using the recorded sessions because then I can fit them around my routine in the day. But I really enjoyed the mentor sessions because they just bring up information that isn't quite in the course, and there's loads of different people who feature in the mentor sessions. So there's past students, there are the teachers as well. But it's really nice to have different people's insights and to kind of learn from different traders. I also really enjoyed the trading psychology lessons because it's such an important topic and it can be overlooked. And they're always really fun as well. It's fun to join in with them. So the mentor sessions are definitely great material to include in the course. Another plus for me was the fact that Ross does stream his Trade Ideas scanners in the chat room. So when I kind of had a go going from the simulator to trading live, instead of having to buy my own Trade Ideas software, which is quite expensive, before I'm even sure I can make money with it, it was really good to be able to go in the chat room and stream them. I didn't always want to listen to Ross because I was trying to use my own thoughts, my own kind of focus for trading. So quite often towards the end, I would actually mute him, sorry Ross, and just use that kind of experience to look at his scanners. And it was just a really useful bonus really to be able to look at the scanners in there, but without having to actually subscribe to Trade Ideas. And I kind of touched on this with the mentor sessions, but definitely another benefit for me was the Warrior Trading team. I did find it a very kind of supportive, close-knit group of people who I know that I could email and get a reply back. I can ask questions and they can answer me. And it's just nice to know you've got that support, because trading can be quite a solitary journey and it can sometimes be difficult if you have questions, getting answers to those. So it was really good to know that you can get some answers back from these people, and they're all really good. So some negative sides of my experience with Warrior Trading. this one might not apply so much to you guys if you're thinking of joining, but when I first started, the paper simulator was an older version and it was very slow and there was quite a lot of technical issues. That was obviously quite a negative experience at the time because, you know, it put a spanner in the works. But basically Ross invested his money and time and he brought a new software, and that's what they're using now. It's a completely different revamped version and that worked great. So it just shows you that if there is an issue, they did fix it. So that it's kind of like a negative and a positive as well. But I'd have to just say that, to be honest, because that was a negative for me at the time, although they fixed it. Another thing that could be quite tricky is the chat room experience was really busy. So I tended to go into the small cap chat room because I was trading Ross's strategy, and quite often you could get thousands of people in there because everybody wants to be doing what Ross is doing. Ross is the man, everyone wants to make money like Ross, so most people were trying to do that strategy. But it meant that when Ross came on, which was usually about 9:20 in the morning in America, or for me 2:20, and he kind of would come into screen on the chat room, and then there'd be loads of messages, you know, hi Ross, from like hundreds of people. But it can be tricky to get his attention, so if you wanted to ask something, I wouldn't really say that the chat room is the best place if you want to ask Ross something, because you can get hidden in all the clutter of everybody else trying to ask something. And so I found it a little bit easier to just email with any questions. But, you know, some people's questions did get answered, and it's kind of more like the community side, I guess, joining the chat room. But for me personally, I didn't really use it for the social experience because I just wanted to trade. And I just went in this chat room to see the scanners, and quite often people would put their sort of tickers in the chat room and I would look to trade them. But that turned out to sort of be up and down because, you know, you're not actually making your own decisions for trading, you're going off what someone else is saying, and that can be kind of a detriment as well. So towards the end I tended to just use the chat room to stream the scanners. But it's kind of up to you really, that's just my personal opinion. A slight little negative for me being in the UK is obviously Warrior Trading is based in America and it's American orientated. They trade the US stock market, and although they accommodate UK traders, and you know, certainly I was able to learn from them, there were a few issues that I had because I was in the UK. So for example, this is just kind of a general US stock market negative, not just Warrior Trading. But I did find it tricky to find a broker that would allow me to join under the PDT rule, because I have an account that's under 25,000. At the time I had the options of Trade Zero or Sure Trader. I do believe Sure Trader, one of our subscribers has said that they've actually closed now. So I went with Trade Zero and they did work out well, but there's not loads of options for people in the UK really, so it's something to just take into account. And another negative from the Warrior Pro course, at least in my opinion, would be the actual time access to the course. So I do think that Warrior Trading offer a 90-day Warrior Pro course, which in my opinion is just not enough to learn how to trade. Or they offer a year's access, which is what I did. And in my opinion, I think it's a lot of money to spend on something that's going to expire in a year. You know, I know it's a product and they make their own decisions, but I think there's got to be some sort of leeway, like maybe, I don't know, I sort of want to say lifetime access because it is a lot of money, but I guess that is the product at the end of the day. I've done other digital products before that were a lot cheaper and I got lifetime access, so I'm only comparing it to previous experiences of other courses that weren't trading related. But I mean, Warrior Trading do offer the option to continue on a monthly basis once your course is expired, but you have to pay for it. So if you don't kind of structure your time wisely and basically complete the course in the time you have, so if you have a year, if you don't complete the course in a year, you can continue on a monthly paid basis, but then that can get extremely expensive for your education. So I definitely would recommend, if you do decide to join, to structure out your time and treat it like a full-time job, because it really does go quick and there is a lot of material to get through in that time. So what's the price of this course that I've been chatting to you about? Well, I had a look on their website, so kind of the date of this video is where I'm pulling these prices from, and the Warrior Trading Pro course that is 90 days long is currently at $4,297, and the Warrior Pro Trading course for a year's access, which is what I did, is currently at $5,997. So, you know, we're talking big money here. Now, when I joined, I didn't pay that much for the course because, as I previously said to you, I joined on a webinar, and at the end of the webinar, Ross gave away some discounts for his course. I do think he does offer discounts quite frequently throughout the year, so whether it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever's going on, if there's a holiday, then generally there tends to be some promotional offer. So if you're thinking of joining, I'd have a think about what's coming up and maybe tie it together to get yourself some money knocked off. So is it good value for the money? Well, I certainly don't regret it, if that's the question. I really enjoyed my experience of warrior trading, and I'm not going to lie to you, it's a lot of money for a course. But the way I looked at it and the way I kind of justify it and still believe in that is comparing it to a university degree. I've never been to university and I know that it can be very costly. So based on kind of the fees for university here in the UK, you can be looking at paying about £9,000 a year for a university course, which obviously over the 3-year period, you're looking at paying just under 30 grand. And more often than not, depending on what you're studying, you can come out of university and get like maybe a well-paid job for that money. It can certainly take you a lot of time to pay back the fees that you paid for the course itself. Whereas compare that with this trading course, that's a fraction of a year of a university degree, and the knowledge that you get of learning how to trade can really be limitless. But as I said before, it's really important to show up, to study, to practice in the sim, to do it every day and treat it like a degree, because it really is at degree level here and it does go very quick. As I said to you, I did that and I treated it like my full-time job, and I still didn't complete all of the mentor sessions that were in the library because there's just so much material. And I did find towards the end that some of the titles, you know, I wasn't really that interested. I felt like I'd already had a good grounding in that. But there are so many topics to cover in the course that it really is prudent to plan your time well so that you make sure you have enough time to complete it before the course expires. So how did it improve my life? Well, it's given me a really solid foundation in trading. As I said before, I was a complete beginner. I've never ever traded before, and I've never even thought about it until a couple of weeks before joining warrior trading. And I feel like I've got a really good grounding in trading. I've learned some valuable knowledge and I've built so much screen time looking at the charts and practicing in the sim. And from that, I've been confident to move to live trading with real money. And it's not just the actual trading knowledge and skills that I've developed, but there is a lot of personal skills that I've developed from this course as well. A lot of them from the mentor session and a lot of them from myself from doing it. I feel like I've certainly become more patient. I feel like I've improved my emotional intelligence from studying about trading psychology. I feel like I've improved my confidence and my general kind of like self-motivation and determination to succeed. All of these that aren't exactly related to trading have still improved from me doing this course, which has been a really interesting experience for me. I have found the course to be really high quality, and I find Ross Cameron to be a very good communicator and teacher for me personally. I found the software to be great and the service to be excellent. So what would I have told myself back in 2018 before I took the course? Well, this is kind of tricky because as I'm sharing this video with you now, this is me who's done the course, so it's kind of hard to say how you would be if you hadn't done it. But I certainly would have advised myself to try different types of trading, because back when I started the course, I was focused on wanting to trade like Ross. I wanted to do small cap. I wanted to get in just before it goes up quick and get out and make thousands of dollars in 5 minutes, and I have not been able to do that yet. And I'm not saying that you couldn't do it if you don't do the course, but for me personally, it hasn't worked like that. And I think that if I was to tell myself back then, just be a bit more open-minded about the different trading strategies. So, you know, have a go at the large cap strategies, join the large cap chat room and follow Mike and explore different options instead of just being, you know, totally focused on one thing, because you find that from practicing these things, you start to actually see whether you prefer that style of trading. I find that everyone tends to have their own style of trading, so whether that's day trading, swing trading, you know, scalping for those quick bursts in a few seconds, minutes, or holding longer positions, focusing more on technicals or focusing more on volume. There's quite a lot of different facets to trading, so it only makes sense to learn about it and then practice it to find what you actually resonate with before you decide to focus entirely on learning and becoming the best at that. What are my views now? Well, the Warrior Trading Pro course has certainly given me a head start in trading, and it's included all of the major topics and lessons and skills and knowledge to become a trader. But I certainly don't feel that doing a formal course like the Warrior Trading Pro is the only path to becoming a successful trader. If you have a spare few £1,000 or dollars, by all means go for it, because it's a great experience. But if money's quite tight, there are other ways to do this. One of the things that I found out pretty much the hard way was that I spent my money on the education. I brought the equipment, so I brought the laptop and the 2 screens that you see behind me. I brought my charting subscription with TradingView. And after these expenses, I never thought to even think about trying to save any from my account to trade with. And that's one of the most important things. So by all means, if you've got spare money, go for it. But I definitely advise to make sure that you have some money saved for trading. And it's not just for trading itself, it's knowing that when you start trading live as a beginner or for the first time, you're going to lose, because it's completely natural. You're doing something new and you've got the emotions in there as well. So my advice would be to have enough money in your trading account so that you can have the ebb and flow of the losses and the winners, because you're probably going to be break even for a while you get on your feet, if not have a few back steps. And my problem was I didn't have enough money to cater for that, so I ended up running out of money in my live account. And then I went through the emotional trauma of that, thinking, oh no, am I not a real trader? Can I not do this? So I definitely would recommend, if you've got the spare money, the course is totally worth it, but make sure you have some money to trade with as well, because that's the end goal here. Asking me what my views are on the course as a course now, I certainly would recommend it. I found it to be high quality, and I personally found that it has everything that I would want in a trading course. Although saying that, there was one thing that I would like to have learned that didn't include, and that was to have a course or a lesson for foreign exchange market, or Forex, which is actually what I'm delving into now. Fortunately, I'm taking a lot of the things I've learned from Warrior Trading and I'm applying it to Forex, but it would have been nice if that was included in the course. So that's just something for me anyway that I found. But the all important question that I'm sure you're thinking is, have I actually made the course fees back yet with trading? Well, the simple answer is not yet, but I'm certainly not far off. As we all know, trading is a marathon, it's not a sprint. It is for the long-term game. And I've been honing my strategy and growing as a trader. I've been learning and transitioning into trading Forex, which is where I feel like I really enjoy trading. And all of these experiences are leading me closer to trading success. So I certainly wouldn't be where I am now without doing the Warrior Trading course, but there are different options. So I hope that this review has been an insight for you guys. I hope that it answers a lot of your questions. I've certainly tried to cover everything that I can think about with the course, but if you do have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to smash the like button if you've enjoyed the video, and subscribe by all means so that you can follow with more videos. Thank you. Bye.